Hi Pisces, welcome to my channel, The Fool's Journey Tarot. Today is January 11th, 2020, and this is a mid-month love reading for the sign of Pisces. Because it's a general love reading, it can pertain to any kind of relationship, situation, or circumstance that you might be dealing with. Be flexible with the energy. Don't be concerned about the gender of the cards or the pronouns that I'm using to describe them. You can interchange the roles within the reading. In other words, you might be represented by any of the characters that shows up in the cards. Don't try to make the reading fit. You will know if it's resonating with you, and you will also know who you are in the reading. You might feel like I'm reading directly for you, but you could also feel like you're cross-watching for somebody that you're dealing with. So take what resonates, leave behind what doesn't. My intention is to reach as many people as I can who need the message the most and who will benefit the most from the message. So I want to give this deck a couple more shuffles. I had a rough time with the Aquarius reading because the animals, the cat and the bird, were being very needy. The bird, Carmilla, is still here. She's going to make it through 2 full readings with me without a break in her cage, and this will be a record. She's been pretty well behaved, except trying to attack the cat when he was hanging around. But he is napping in front of the heater on a blanket. Thank goodness he's decided to settle down because he was being over the top during my last reading. I'm surprised I got it done. Anyway, let's give this one last shuffle, Pisces, and see what's going on for you mid-month January 2020. Here we go. So starting off in your underlying energy, we have the 2 of Cups in reverse paired with the Hermit in reverse. I had to look twice at both these cards because the 2 of Cups in this deck looks very similar to the Lovers, and the Hermit in this deck looks very similar to Death. If those cards come out, I'll show you what I mean, but sometimes I get them mixed up. We have the Tower paired with the 10 of Wands in reverse. There's the Lovers. Interesting that it went ahead and came out, and there you go. Can compare the 2 cards and see that they're very similar. They may even be the same exact people, except the 2 men in this picture don't have their hoods on, and they do in this one. I think they're supposed to be the same couple. Knight of Wands paired with the Lovers. Eight of Swords. And the Page of Wands in reverse. Okay, so this is obviously pertaining to a relationship. It does feel like it's probably a romantic relationship with both the 2 of Cups and Lovers out on the table. There's some bad news or something that, some kind of failure or some kind of mishap in regards to this relationship that might have you feeling trapped or feeling like you can't move forward or feeling like you need to return to whatever happened and fix things first. There could be a separation in this relationship. The 2 of you might be not speaking, not communicating. There's some kind of action that needs to be taken in regards to this relationship, I feel, in order to repair something possibly that went wrong. Or maybe somebody needs to admit something. Let's get some more cards on the table, Pisces, and see what else we get. Right now, I think that possible lots of different directions we could go with what I see so far. So I don't want to get too far into it with details until I see what other cards come out. So clarifying the Two of Cups, we have the Six of Pentacles. And then the Hermit in reverse is clarified by the Two of Cups. So we have the Two of Cups in reverse twice in your underlying energy. To me, this says this is a mutual split. This is a mutual decision to break it off. With the Six of Pentacles coming out. Let me get the rest of these cards out. We have Judgment in reverse. Eight of Pentacles clarifying the Ten of Wands. The Lovers is clarified by the Six of Swords. Knight of Wands is clarified by the Ace of Swords in reverse. The Eight of Swords is clarified by the Star in reverse. And the Page of Wands in reverse is clarified by the Ace of Wands in the upright position. So this is definitely a decision to move on from a connection, from a relationship. This could be romantic. I did indicate at first that it was a romantic relationship. It's not feeling that way anymore to me. It could be. It could still be. And it could be both ways. Remember, it's a general reading, so it could have been a romantic relationship. For some of you watching, it might just be a connection, a friendship connection, family connection. But there is a sense that there is a mutual decision on the table regarding this relationship, where both parties feel it was necessary to split or separate. This may have been something that you've been thinking about for a long period of time. Maybe you've been avoiding this, but there is some kind of shared decision or opinion regarding this relationship that it might be time to move on from it, to move on to greener pastures, to release this connection. It's possible that there is a lack of clarity regarding how to move forward with this or what action should be taken. I feel like possibly in the past there was a decision made to work on this relationship, to try to make things work. And you might be questioning that decision from the past. I get the feeling that maybe this is a relationship that maybe one or both of you have been working to maintain. And maybe you've come to a conclusion that that was the wrong path to take. Question your decision to move forward with this relationship, and then it might be time to release it instead, to stop working on it, to not put the energy and effort into it. Again, this is feeling like a mutual decision. There's something in this last set of cards that indicates that maybe hanging on to this relationship is preventing you from moving forward to new things, new opportunities, new connections. And then if you were to stick it out with this relationship, that you might not have new opportunity. In other words, this relationship is preventing you from moving on or moving forward towards other new things, whether this be other new connections, people, relationships, or new opportunities, new beginnings in your life. This relationship is standing in the way of things that could potentially be really good for you in your life. why that's the case, I'm not sure. It could be, for example, that staying connected with this person, I'm just throwing out some examples. Staying connected with this person might mean that you have to stay put in, you know, the current city that you live in, for example, and because you're connected with this person, you can't move on to change locations or to a new job. That might be really good for you. It could be that this relationship has you kind of sticking around maybe the same group of friends or just the same social circle. And because you've devoted yourself to this relationship, you are limiting your opportunities to branch out and maybe meet new people, make new connections, that kind of thing. Let's see what else we get for you, Pisces. Don't bite my ear. Clarifying the Two of Cups in your underlying energy, we have the Queen of Swords in reverse. And the Hermit is clarified by the Six of Swords in reverse. So we have the Six of Swords twice. One in the upright, which I accidentally placed back in the reverse, but I know this one came out in the upright, so I need to fix that one. Again, there's this back and forth regarding whether or not to stick it out and to try to work on things or to move on from this. Let's see what else we get. Eight of Pentacles again in the same set of cards. This one's clarifying the Tower. And the Ten of Wands is clarified by the Three of Pentacles. So this is definitely looking at the past decision to try to work on this relationship, try to make things work, trying to build something together. And again, this could relate, because it's Pentacles, it could be really related to a job or work situation or work dynamic. Maybe you're in a business partnership with this person. If it's not romantic or not a friendship, that kind of thing. There's this indication that it is time to release this relationship or release the effort to continue to make it work with this Ten of Wands in reverse. So we had the King of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, both in reverse come out, clarifying the Lovers and the Knight of Wands. Death is clarifying the Eight of Swords. And we have the Ten of Swords in reverse, clarifying the Page of Wands. So this ending has you feeling trapped, has you feeling like you are stuck with a lack of hope, stuck with this ending and feeling hopeless about it. Maybe it feels inevitable to you. So I think this Queen of Swords and Queen of Wands is the same energy. Queen of Swords in reverse came out in your underlying energy. I'm going to just talk about the two people that showed up, and then I want to get some more cards out before I draw any conclusions, because it's starting to feel like This Queen of Wands is resisting the ending. I think she's the one that's unclear about whether or not this is the direction she wants to go with this. The Queen of Wands is in reverse. And this person can be someone who is, well, she's got the Ace of Swords in reverse, clarifying her energy too. This person's feeling like she's trying to talk her way out of letting go of this relationship, or she might be trying to talk this King of Pentacles out of ending things. This person is, in the reverse, can be someone who is overly demanding or needs to have things their way. This can be somebody who is a jealous or envious individual. When the Court cards are in reverse, it can indicate shadow energy. The King of Pentacles came out next to her, and I think that I'm going to go ahead and call this you, Pisces. And part of the reason why I'm going to read for the King of Pentacles in this reading is because I'm getting negative vibes off this Queen of Wands. And I've said this in the past. I don't often believe that people who show up in my readings who are in their shadow energy would necessarily be watching tarot. Because when you're connecting with spirit, when you're connecting with your spirit guides, and the way you do that in one way is to, read tarot cards or watch tarot. When you're connecting with your spirit guides and trying to communicate with them, it's usually, in my opinion, for the purpose of trying to make things better for yourself, or trying to understand why things are the way they are, or how people are acting. And at least for me, when I read tarot cards, if I see that I'm, embodying some kind of shadow energy, or I feel like I am taking a wrong direction, or acting in a poor manner, or acting in shadow energy, I generally try to fix, how I proceed in life, so that I can embody the energy that will move me in the right direction, in the positive direction. So the reason why I'm saying I'm going to read for this King of Pentacles is because I feel like the King of Pentacles is also in shadow energy, but I feel like this King of Pentacles is feeling insecure. Possibly about releasing this relationship or moving on from it. And the Queen of Wands is feeling manipulative to me. And again, if this Queen of Wands is in the energy that I'm sensing off of her, she probably is not watching this tarot reading. So that's why I'm saying I'm going to, in a long-winded way, I know that took me forever to get to my point. But my point is, I think that you are the King of Pentacles. And I feel like, at first I said that this breakup, the split, was mutual. That might be on surface level, because this Queen has the Ace of Swords in reverse in her energy. She might not be on the up and up in regards to how she's communicating about this broken relationship. She might be saying she feels the same way, but I don't think that that's actually how she feels. I don't think she feels the same way. I think she feels that the end of this relationship may be inevitable and that she's stuck with it, but I think she's trying to manipulate the situation so that it doesn't end, or that she is inserting doubt into this King of Pentacles' head, maybe making him think that this is not the right direction to go. What do you want to do, Carmela? Do you want to participate in the reading? Do you want to read tarot too? I don't know what you want to. Usually when she climbs down my arm, it's because she has to poop. Because she doesn't like to poop on people, which is fortunate, but she did poop on me last reading. She pooped down the back of my shirt. And I have since wiped it off. Pisces, I'm not sitting here in bird poop. But if she poops, she's going to poop on the table or on my cards. You need to make a decision if you're going to poop, because I don't necessarily want you sitting here while I'm trying to do tarot. So make up your mind, Carmilla. You are being really cute and calm today. She's being so cute and calm. You can't see her in the camera. You can kind of see her. There's a little bit of her back showing. She's trying to pick up the star card in reverse. She might be trying to turn it upright, but it didn't show up upright. Come here. I don't want you doing this right now. Come here. Maybe I'll do a reading where she gets to pick the cards. That would be kind of fun. Especially since I'm coming to a close of my mid-month readings. And I've got a little bit of time before I want to do my end-of-the-month readings. So maybe I'll try some fun readings in the interim while I'm waiting for the right timing to get my end-of-the-month readings started. Okay, let's get some more cards out here, Pisces, and see what else we can come up with for you. I feel like I spent a lot of time on those first three decks. Please don't chew on my cards. No. You're going to knock them on the floor. Don't chew on my cards. And don't poop on them. Be a good bird. Please don't chew on them. I said please. Does that matter to a bird? Pisces, does it matter if I say please? I don't think it does. She's just looking at me like, whatever. I'll chew on your cards if I goddamn well please. Sorry, I didn't mean to use foul language. Sometimes it just comes out. Stop it. Stop chewing on my cards. Stop it. Come here. Come here. Bebop, over there. Come on. Come on. Carmilla? Ouch. Okay, now she's at war with me. She's getting really mad. If you're going to stay on the table, you cannot walk through the cards. She bit my knuckle. She's a feisty bird. And she doesn't take shit. So if you get mad at her, you kind of have to get mad at her in the kind way, or she retaliates. Stop it. And right now I'm not reacting the way she likes me to react to her when she's being naughty. And so she's biting me. Who won? She's going to force me to put her back in her cage. And I'm in the middle of a reading right now. Carmilla, no. Sorry, Pisces, totally distracted by the bird. Let's get back to you now that she's not walking on my cards. So we have Two of Swords, Hierophant, Five of Wands. Seriously? Are you seriously taking chunks out of my cards? Come on. Come here. Come here. Come here. Good girl. Good girl. Okay, now sit on my shoulder, please. The Sun in reverse. The Moon, clarifying the Six of Swords. Knight of Swords. So this Queen has the Knight of Swords, Knight of Wands. She's trying to, she wants to convince this King not to go. And she's using some deceit. She's trying to be sneaky about it. She's trying to be, she's trying to be sneaky. This may have happened in the past. I get the feeling that this relationship has been on the rocks for a while, Pisces. And by rocks, I don't mean necessarily that there's been fighting and that kind of thing. It just feels like it's one of those relationships that has petered out. This King is unsure about whether or not he should move on. And he's feeling very insecure. I think the relationship, at least right now, there's a separation. with Two of Cups in reverse in the underlying energy. It feels like there's a separation or there's not a lot of communication or contact, but there's a stuck energy, stuck in this situation where you're kind of both in your own corners, not speaking or not in contact with one another, and so there's no movement. It's not, ouch, oh, this bird, I should put her in her cage. Pisces, next time, tell me. If I have her out for your reading, can you guys just say, please just put her back? You know that she's going to cause problems, she's going to eat your cards, and she's going to bite your ear. Please just tell me. And I will. So there's a decision being made, but right now, as it stands, this relationship is on hold. It's on ice right now. Quite literally feels like it's on ice. Feels very chilly. There's not a lot of communication. There's not a lot of interaction. But the cards are indicating that this separation, the end is the right path to take. I think because you're the King of Pentacles, I'm reading for you, remember, I think that you're still trying to decide, is this a mutual decision? You might be wondering, does this Queen of Wands want the same thing that I want, which is to be done with this, to let this go? And you're still unsure. And I think this Queen of Wands is instilling some doubt in you. And how she's doing it, I'm not sure, but she's definitely taking action, or thinking about taking action to communicate or do something that will instill doubt in your head. Or she's been doing that. Again, it feels like it could be one of those situations where this is kind of her mode of operation. This is kind of what she typically will do, is when she feels insecure about the relationship, she instills doubt in your head, indicating that, you know, maybe you just need a break or you need some time apart. You know, that you shouldn't make this definitive decision to move on or to end this relationship. But I think you're clear that you need to release yourself from feeling trapped with this lack of hope. And, you know, with this Ten of Swords out here, again, I feel like this has been something you've been dealing with for a while, or something that has repeated. This cycle has repeated. Let's get this last round of cards out. Let's see what else we can come up with. So we have the Three of Swords and your underlying energy. There's definitely some grief surrounding this relationship. There could be a third party involved. I don't have anybody else's energy on the table, but Three of Swords can indicate that. We have the Lovers in reverse, clarifying the Two of Cups in reverse with the Hierophant. It's time to let this go. You're stuck. Like I said, the relationship is on ice right now. There is no movement. There's no definitive ending, but there's also no connection. In other words, you know, maybe you saw each other at a party or whatever. You got together for dinner or whatever, and then maybe there was this break in between then and now, and it just kind of hasn't, you know, maybe you haven't been communicating or something of that nature. There's the Six of Swords again in reverse. This is the third time this has come out. Three of Wands in reverse. Three of Pentacles again in the upright. Two of Wands, clarifying this Queen's energy. Seven of Swords. And the Page of Swords, clarifying the Page of Wands. So I feel like you are ready to communicate, but you're unclear about how you want to move forward with this. King of Pentacles. Right now you're feeling insecure about moving forward toward trying to rebuild or continue trying to make this relationship work. You're feeling insecure about that. Feeling like there's too many unknowns. You're unsure about the outcome. You don't know if this is going to work. I think you've tried this in the past. I think you've tried to keep this relationship going in the past and it just hasn't worked for you. The cards in your underlying energy are indicating it's time to let this go, that you're stuck right now. and I feel like you've been stuck for quite some time, stuck in decision-making mode, and it's not making you happy. And I don't think this Queen is giving you any clarity, because I think she's not communicating right now. If she is communicating, or if she's getting ready to communicate, she's getting ready to make some decisions. And I do feel like she's acting, she's taking action to make some decisions that will favor her. You know, again, I think that she's indicating, or maybe has communicated in the past, that the feelings were mutual, that this relationship was not going anywhere, and that maybe she communicated that, look at that, she made me bleed. My knuckle is bleeding. That's where she bit me on the table. I'm just looking for some sympathy, Pisces. She's all calm now. Do you see the blood, Carmilla? You did that to me. That was mean. Anyway, I think that this Queen has indicated in the past that maybe she also agreed that this relationship was going nowhere, and maybe it was time to release this connection. But I don't think she was being honest with her communication. That's what I'm getting from the cards right now, Pisces. So I'm going to get a Dreams of Gaia tarot card to finish up this reading for you. Based on what I'm seeing in the cards, and obviously the choice is yours. If you want to continue working on this relationship, you know, go for it. I admire people who work hard at relationships and do everything that they can to try to make them work, instead of just giving up, throwing their hands in the air and saying, no, I can't do this anymore. But I think you've been through this before, Pisces, with this individual. I don't think this is something new. I don't think this is something that you're not used to. And I think you know how this is going to turn out if you choose to try again with this individual. That's just what I'm seeing in the cards. The cards are indicating that this relationship has kind of worn out. The time's up on it. It's kind of a done deal. This card wants to come out. Masculine and feminine. Interesting. This card came out for another reading a couple of days ago. And frankly, knowing off the top of my head what this card is all about, I'm a little surprised it came out for this reading, because it doesn't feel like it applies. But I've been in this boat before, where the occasional card comes out where I'm like, what? This doesn't make any sense. This is not where I was going with this. But it might resonate for you. Obviously this reading's not for me, it's for you. So the card is for you, not for me. So I'm going to read it from the book. It is kind of long, but it's an interesting card, and it does give an interesting message. For those of you unfamiliar with tarot, this is the number 11 masculine feminine fire card, so it would correlate with the Page of Wands, which came out at the very beginning in reverse for you. The Page of Wands in traditional tarot can indicate a failure, miscommunication, can indicate bad news coming in, can indicate an individual who is kind of childlike, whiny, feeling like giving up, things aren't going my way, that kind of thing. So there's a lot of different shadow meanings to this card. I read it as kind of indicating communication, kind of the bad news communication between the two of you, where kind of things aren't going anywhere and that sort of thing. This card has a very different meaning, so I am going to read it from the book. Let's get on with it and stop rambling and see if this resonates for you. So, masculine, feminine. Here we go. The 11 of Fire is a balancing and realignment card. It symbolizes the importance of balancing our masculine and feminine energies, and to remind us we are and always will be a mix of both. Our physical gender is irrelevant. The 11 of Fire asks that we look beyond gender stereotypes to how we respond and react to day-to-day experiences. On an energetic level, our masculine aspect serves to protect self and others, while our feminine aspect serves to nurture self and others. In a simplistic society, a typical male will embody a more masculine energy than feminine. They are characteristically more aggressive and forceful, but also very protective of those they feel are in need of protection. However, they are more apt to use physical force and aggression to protect. A typical female, however, will embody more feminine energy than masculine. They are characteristically more passive and yielding, and while possessing the same desire to protect the vulnerable, they will generally use diplomacy and dialogue in order to determine an option that avoids conflict. Gender stereotypes are often one-dimensional and rarely accurate, especially when we are discussing masculine and feminine energy as opposed to man and woman. It can become even more problematic to assign specific attributes to either gender when there are many men who identify as female and women who identify as male. When it comes to masculine and feminine energy, we all have both, regardless of our physical gender or the gender we have assigned ourselves, and this energy is expressed in how we behave and act. It influences all that we do. Masculine energy is active, impatient, assertive, creative, aggressive, forceful, protective, logical, analytical, and controlling. Feminine energy is inactive, calm, retiring, receptive, passive, yielding, nurturing, emotional, intuitive, and allowing. Masculine energy motivates us to focus upon our personal needs and self, while feminine energy motivates us to think of others and their needs. Again, regardless of gender, a person who is energetic and proactive is embracing masculine energy, while a person who is calm and passive is embracing feminine energy. Neither is intrinsically good or bad, but if an imbalance is present, it can be evident in our actions and give rise to destructive behavior. An imbalance can occur when we have too much of one and not enough of the other, all of the time. Too much of one without enough influence from the other can create a very discordant and destructive mix. But what is the right mix? This is not about having equal parts of both, but about having a harmonious blending that is suited to your lifestyle and personal goals and needs. If you are not assertive enough, you may need to embrace more masculine energy. If you are overly assertive to the point where others are always intimidated by you, then consider embracing a little more feminine energy and soften your approach. An aggressive approach or method is sometimes required in order to break from the old and make way for the new, but aggressive methods don't always have to be violent. To be forceful is not always indicative of physical force being used. Masculine and feminine energy should be allowed to flow and ebb as it is needed. Like fire flickering and dancing, you add less fuel if you want things to cool, and more fuel if you want things to heat up. Enough heat gives rise to creative, productive energy, but too much heat can burn both you and others. Cooling things a little gives rise to a nurturing warmth, but too little fuel and the fire could go out completely. The 11 of Fire symbolizes an opportunity to take a moment to evaluate your life and ask yourself whether you need to embrace a little more masculine or feminine energy in your day-to-day activities and relationships. Do you need to step up and be a little more assertive or proactive? Does something or someone need your protection? Are you not nurturing yourself or others enough? Are you being overtly analytical instead of heeding your intuition? Are you allowing impatience to get the better of you when your situation calls for calm and compromise? Are you choosing a path of an inaction and you need to embrace one of action in order to manifest the changes you need? Pause for a moment, evaluate, and bring your masculine and feminine energies back into a harmonious alignment with your life and your needs. So again, this could probably resonate and apply to in many different ways related to this reading. And you can interpret it however you'd like. I do like this card because it does indicate, and something that I say before every reading that I do, that you should not overly concern yourself with the gender of the cards, because we do all have masculine and feminine energy, and our it just depends on, you know, our actions and what we're doing in our lives, and how we embody that energy, how it affects us and how it affects others. So I'm going to leave that there. Pisces, I hope that you got something out of this video. I hope that it was helpful for you. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it through the whole thing, I appreciate it. If it resonated, I would love it if you would like, share, and subscribe, or leave a comment, That would be great. I do reply to all of the comments left for me. So thank you again for watching. Take care, and I hope I see you again soon. Bye.